Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you guys are here. First off, I want to thank any of you who've made your way in here to check out my knife and my EDC content. I really appreciate it. Your time and your viewership means everything to me. If you like what you see and you'd like to be notified when I release more videos, and if you'd also like to really help me out, if you take the second and hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon, I would be stoked. And I also want to give a special shout out to the channel members. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you more than you know. And I want to give a shout out to my local buddy A to Z EDC over on Instagram. He goes to Blade Show with me. He's a good guy. And he also gifts me, that's the wrong word. He lends me knives to bring in to the channel to share with you guys. He lets me keep them for a couple of weeks so I can, this is basically an unboxing without a package. But this is a knife, I guess you'd call it part of the Holy Trinity, which I didn't know this, but I guess is a Hinderer, Strider, and Chris Reeves. Don't ask me why, and I'm sure the comments can tell me I'm totally wrong. I just read or heard that somewhere. I think I Googled it actually, Googling what does it mean. But this is the Chris Reeves large Sebenza 31 with the Bog Oak inlay in the polished S45. So let's see what we've got here. So the first thing that we've got is a little card with disassembly instructions. So, large washer, small washer. That's odd. Okay, so that is your disassembly and your care notes. Comes with a registration card, Chris Reeves sticker, and a certificate of authenticity, a little lifeline of Chris Reeves. So this is large Sebenza 31, blade polished, CPM S45s between 60 and 62. Handle has the inlay and it's the Bog Oak, and its birth date was February 14th of 2022. My buddy picked this up, if I'm not mistaken, on the secondary market. I could absolutely be confused there. Comes with a really nice slip. I was not aware that these came with slips. He's never used it. I like the slip. I ought to get him to sell it to me. He actually replaced the clip. So this is the standard Sebenza clip, and he put an MX gear on it. And it looks like it comes with some different knife, fluorinated grease, and some Loctite. So there you go. You've got some little, and a tool to take it apart. So you've got your doodads there. And then my understanding is it comes wrapped up in this Chris Reeves cloth, microfiber cloth. So let's close this biatch up and get it out of the way so we can look at the knife. Now I am looking forward to carrying it, and I'll tell you a little cheat. I carried it for about 2 hours today. Didn't do much with it, just carried it in my pocket, filmed a couple of short videos. I like the clip. Looks like it's got some bronze appointments on here. Looks like, and again, I don't think he bought this originally, but that looks like it's the same color as the clip, a little different color. But anyway, this is a large Sebenza, as it would come, with the exception of the clip, with the Bog Oak inlay, and you do have the inlay on both sides. It has the thumb stud only on the thumb side. It has this beautiful polished, whoops, I just smudged it. Has this beautiful polished, super thin, super slicey, hollow ground blade, lock bar access that is amazing because, again, Chris Reeves, I guess Chris Reeves came up with that lock, the frame lock. So it is on washers, and as you saw in the diagram there, for some reason it's got a large washer on the show side and a smaller washer on the lock side, but I don't know how to explain I've always been, off the record, I've always never understood Chris Reeves, never was a fan, they were never on my radar. I appreciated the knives, I appreciated the Inkosi, I appreciated the Sebenza. It wasn't my jam, right? But I used to say that about Hinder. I used to say that about Strider. So I'm stoked to have a chance with this knife. I know a lot of people who get this knife go to tie connector and they replace this thumb stud. And I don't know if it's press fit or if you could take your Knipex and a cloth and screw that out. I'm not going to try it. It's not my knife. But you can thumb flick it. I know it's not designed to be a thumb flicking knife. It is, to me, more satisfying to slow roll it because it is so stable throughout the path of that roll. And listen to this lock bar. I'm going to do it up here. Slow roll it. It just locks. Coming open again. Into place. And you can tell you're looking right about 40% lockup. You do have the milling on the inside of the clip for the lock bar relief, and it feels amazingly smooth. I mean, it goes in and out of the pocket like nobody's business. I've not cut with it yet, and I know A to Z has not put this through any work. Let's see what we got. This would be our factory edge, and I'm here to testify that it is a therapeutic slicer. And I'm sorry guys, but if you know me, I won't be able to stop slicing till the paper gets, caught a soil, till the paper gets tiny. Guys, for a tool, I'm seeing the appeal in a big way. Again, I haven't carried it yet. This is a first impression, kind of an unboxing for you guys, even though I unboxed it a couple hours ago when I went over to visit him to grab this knife and another cool knife I'm going to bring you guys. And that brings me to my first point, is go give a brother a follow. Good guy. A lot of you have met him at Blade Show with me. That's what his profile picture looks like. A to Z EDC. Can't forget that. He's made the Ranch Bowie available to me. The Evo first before I got it. God, he's given me so many great knives to have you guys review. The original Koenig Arius. The list goes on, guys. And I always try to throw his Instagram thing up there and I always say, hey, did you get any followers? He's like, not really. I was like, that's cool. And that's fine that if you don't have time to go do it. But if you do, A to Z EDC. He's the man. So guys, this knife, my first impressions are, I don't like not having a thumb stud on the back. Now, if I'm going to only slow roll this knife, which I think I could probably get myself used to that, it would not be a problem. What it lacks, and I don't even know, because it's not a fly-out flicker knife. I mean, it does have great detent, and if I hit the studs just right, I can either half flick it, half flick it, half flick it, 3/4 flick it. Yeah, so maybe the rear studs don't matter that much. I know I'd be pushing away from the lock bar, which for me, when I thumb flick, I tend to put more pressure on the lock bar than I do when I reverse flick, just because I'm resting my fingers on the clip and using my pinky or my middle finger. I don't think that's necessary. I think this knife, just like it is, I'm personally wouldn't probably have changed the clip, even though this is allegedly a much better clip. But Jeff didn't either, A to Z. You've got perfectly centered blade. that fits down in that handle very, very well. I think you've got some of the best blade to handle ratio. Again, this is not a review. This is just an overview. 4.5, 3 3/4, roughly. So I don't know what the ideal blade to handle ratio is, but I can tell you this kind of works for me. So let's do a couple of quick size comparisons just while we've got it out here. Let's look at it next to the Benchmade Bug Out, because they also make a small Sebenza. I'm not sure how much smaller that is. And let's look at it next to a PM2. Just about a smidgen smaller than the PM2, maybe 3/4 of an inch larger than the Bug Out. We can look at it, it's got a little smuts. That's going to drive me crazy. Let me wipe off the smuts so my OCD doesn't take me down a rabbit hole. Let's look at it next to the Baby Banter. A Sharpie, for those of you who are looking for a more universal type of comparison, and our Cold Steel Satin Dave ground 4 Max. So again, I'm going to say it's about a Spyderco PM2 size knife, 8.5 inches roughly overall for the large Sebenza, and a knife that again I had no interest in. I am intrigued at this point. I'm about to stick it back in my pocket and continue to carry it for a few days this week, or for the week. I'll have it to show you guys on some of the lives coming up the next few days. The sharpening choil is wunderbar. I mean, I don't know why everybody can't take a plunge grind back, keep it. Look where that plunge grind ends, where my thumbnail is. You can see it right there. Look how much sharpening you've got. And guys, deep, deep hollow grind. I don't want to get anywhere close to this polished blade, but can you see? See the hollow in that? It is a laser beam, and it's a thin, elegant knife. Kind of reminds me of a knife my dad might carry, just because it's understated, it's elegant. You can simply roll it out, locks up like a vault. I love the Bog Oak. I think it's a gorgeous knife, guys. And thanks again to my brother from another mother, my local buddy, A to Z EDC. You guys, please give him a follow. Help me out if he gains some followers. Because he's my buddy and I want to see him get some followers. Plus, he's got some cool-ass knives. I mean, you guys will enjoy it. And also, what I ask you, please, please, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for one another. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. Be up. Know I love you all. And I will come back in a few days with some more final thoughts. I've kind of covered a lot of it here, but I do want to tell you what my final thoughts are on this knife. If I'm going to add it to my list of knives that I need to get. Because again, I have, if you believe the Googles, I have 2 of the USA made knives, Holy Trinities, which according to Google's is Strider, Hinderer, and Chris Reeves. And I know a lot of other makers. I think they're talking about the Holy Trinity of production knife makers. Maybe that's where the differentiation comes from, where you get away from the... I don't know how old that saying is. But anyway, before I didn't think completing the Holy Trinity would be that big of a deal. But after just holding this for a little while and having a chance to experience it, I really see a little bit. I'm starting to see the appeal. We'll see how it carries for a few days. I'll get back with y'all and give you my final thoughts. Thanks so much, guys. I love each and every one of you. Thanks again to the channel members. Final plea for any of you who are still here, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. It helps me out. Shameless to ask. I love you all. Peace.